Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We're a little rusty.
A little rusty.
Because we accidentally had a dry January as far as video is concerned. Or, in our personal life, it might have been more moist.
More moist. Drier than December.
But anywho, we're back, and so is the dog. But we are here to taste a nice little low alcohol, tart, fruity beer.
And this was from the Mash Your Luck series.
I did a Mash Your Luck challenge on Basic Brewing Radio and came up with these variables. Low ABV, low bitterness, brown, sour, and of German influence or origin. So, low ABV, low bitterness, brown, sour, and German.
Is there...
I don't know. The closest that I could think of was a beer that Scott Housel brewed for us called Lichtenheiner, but...
Number 12.
But I didn't want to do one of those because we already had one, and it was delicious. So what I came up with was kind of a... I thought, what's brown and sour? And I thought, Black Forest cake. But that's a pretty rich...
It's rich and sweet.
Dessert. So I thought, what if we do a session version of that and call it Brown Forest, Brown Forest Light. So Chris Colby and I got together on Basic Brewing Radio in another episode and formulated this beer. So this is a 2-gallon batch, so it's a very small batch. You'll see I started off with too much water. So into 3.5 gallons or 13.25 liters of water at 157 degrees Fahrenheit or 69.4 C, I put 1.5 pounds or 680 grams of Pilsner malt, 8 ounces or 227 grams of dark Munich, and 8 ounces or 227 grams of Crystal 60. I mashed for 1 hour at 152 degrees Fahrenheit or 67 C. I collected my wort, and at the beginning of what turned out to be a 2-hour-long boil, I put 1 ounce or 28 grams of Czech Sats at 2.5% alpha acid, and 8 ounces or 227 grams of lactose. So that's to give us some sweetness, residual sweetness at the end. So I fermented with the Safale US-05. At the end of that fermentation, Susan and I, we put the beer in the bottling bucket and we flavored it with a 2/3 cup tincture of cacao nibs and vodka, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 fluid ounce of black cherry flavoring, and 1 ounce of lactic acid. And so the original gravity was 1036, final gravity was 1018 for an ABV of around 2.4%. Mm-hmm. So I figure, first of all, I used the lactic acid because I tried to do a sour starter. Mm-hmm. In other words, make a 1 liter starter and sour it with lactobacillus. Mm-hmm. And so I got these little probiotic shots, different brand from what I'm used to using. Mm-hmm. Didn't work. It didn't sour the little starter at all.
Kind of like amateur biotics.
There you go.
See? What you get?
I was going to say antibiotics, like I made that up, but it turns out that word already exists. So, for a while at least. Anyway, so I said, I'll just sour it at the end using lactic acid. Yeah. So why don't you pour?
Okay.
And we'll see, and I'll blow my nose, and we'll see what we think about this.
This has a BF on the top. I'm going to
Brown
assume
Forest.
Okay. Otherwise, there's going to be problems.
Big F. No, it's something else.
Yeah.
Pour with vigor. There we go. It's
Don't anybody write in that I don't know how to pour a beer.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Where I condition the beers is a little cool nowadays because it's winter.
It's winter.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, well, that's pretty.
It's a nice, lovely beer. Great head retention.
Yeah. Would you?
Actually, it's just fine.
Yeah. Would you say that that's brown?
Mhm.
That looks brownish to me.
Ooh. Woo, that's tart.
Is it?
That's tart.
Oh, let me taste
To
it.
me, it's good.
It smells good. It smells like cherry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
think
just
it's
about
delicious.
right. That's just about right for me.
Wow. You know, if you'd have used Crystal Gale instead of Crystal 60, this would have made your brown beer blue. I'm just telling you.
Would have been a hair in it though.
Yeah, well.
So it's. What do you think? It's by the time I said about around 2.5% alcohol. By the time I figured it out, by the time I added like 2/3 of a cup of vodka, it brings it up a little over 3%. So it's still very sessionable.
Well, I like it very much. This would be really, really good with any food, I think. That tartness, this is great.
It scrubs the
But it's some, I've never had this before. You know, I have nothing to compare it to. And it really is very, I mean, all those kind of incongruent parameters coming together to shift the paradigm. I had to run it up the flagpole, but I salute it.
Do you take? Let's go through the. Let's go through the characteristics.
Yeah,
here. So
sure.
low ABV, definitely low.
Definitely
ABV.
low.
Low bitterness. The tartness.
It's tart rather than bitter, but
Right.
there is a hop character to it.
So we'll give it a pass on the low bitterness. Brown. Yeah, I'd say brown.
Yeah,
Definitely
brown.
sour, and of German influence. I'm using German malt. It's German or Czech Saaz hops. It's an American yeast, but that's what I had on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you taste the chocolate?
Yes. I taste the chocolate. I also taste the fruit, meaning the cherry, but I'm not sure if I couldn't have said that's cherry. I can just say there's definitely a stone fruit character to it. So yeah, I mean, I get all that. I think the thing that I get the least of are the hops.
Yes.
But otherwise, the malt character, you know, the little bit of, I don't want to call it chocolate, it doesn't go that far, but that little bit of roasty, crystally flavor. The tartness is very nice. It's more tart than I thought it would be, but it's not. I mean, you know, we've had some tart beers that were whew,
Enamel
Yeah.
scraping.
yeah, and actually using one of your old kettle sours now for COVID. You just drink one, you're good. But yeah, no, this is great.
It's got enough residual sweetness in it to where it's not thin by any stretch. This is only the second one of these I've had. I've sent it out
really good.
to Chris Colby and Scott Housel and Adam Ross at Twin Span Brewing.
Yeah.
We're going to taste that on Basic Brewing Radio, so it'll be interesting to see what they think about it. I kind of like it. I was disappointed that the little souring technique, the kettle souring technique didn't work, but I think using the lactic acid as a kind of a hack, a trick,
Yeah.
a cheat, if you will, especially for a small batch like this. I think I like it.
I don't taste anything weird. I don't taste any wang. You know,
It's not medicinal
no.
or artificial in my opinion.
I thought there might be a chance of that with the cherry flavor.
Flavoring, right?
But again, as I used to tell my customers when I owned the store, if you use those flavorings properly, which means don't overdo it,
Right.
they can be very beneficial and work very well. But
Yeah.
if you get just like a micron over the line,
Yeah,
you got cough syrup.
Well, it's in the other room, but I've still got 3/4 of a bottle left. It's
Yeah.
a 4-ounce bottle.
And the bottle will tell you the whole thing for a
5 gallons.
Right. But
Right.
that's too much.
Right. Be too
Almost,
much.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but I love the technique of in the bottling bucket, tasting. We added the chocolate or the cacao nib tincture first, and got it to where we liked it, and then we added a teaspoon of vanilla, I think, and we liked that, and then Then the cherry flavoring went in, and it was amazing. After the cherry flavoring went in, we were like, oh yeah, I'll taste some cherry. And then we put the lactic acid in there, and it brightened up that fruit flavor so much. So
It has a very nice, bright, tart quality with just that hint of chocolate behind it. It's really lovely. Honestly, it probably wouldn't go into my standard rotation.
right.
But, you know, for a one-off or every now and then beer, it's great. And I'm thinking of it really good with German desserts.
Yeah, maybe with a
Black Forest cake.
Black Forest cake.
Or a strudel, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be delicious. And actually, I think it'd work well with
Pork.
pork, with the main dish as well. I think it'd be great because the acidity cuts through the fat. Whether it's the fat from a dessert like a buttercream or the fat from a big old pork roast.
Right.
Either way, it's really good. I would encourage you to make this one. This is good. It's worth making.
Or something similar.
Or something similar.
All righty. Well, welcome back, Steve, and welcome back everybody else. Have fun in the not as new year. Make some fun beers for 2025. Cheers.
Cheers.
Come and visit us online at basicbrewing.com. You can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on homebrewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. I couldn't think of a beer that kind of fit all those things exactly. There's the Lichtenheiner, which